Hi, I'm Simon Dippenaar and I'm a family lawyer. As we prepare to observe 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on a serious matter. Despite the many campaigns over the years aimed at ending gender-based violence in South Africa, we still bear the unwanted title of rape capital of the world. The 16 Days campaign focused on raising public awareness of gender-based violence and abuse. Personally, I don't think public awareness needs raising. Very few South Africans are unaware of the impact of gender-based violence in our communities. However, the campaign does more than that. It aims to raise funds for NGOs to provide support to survivors of violence, provide survivors with information on services that can help reduce the impact of violence on their lives, and engage with men and boys about combating violence. Arguably, the last aim is the most critical in terms of affecting social change. Meanwhile, I don't want to suggest that it is a woman's responsibility to keep themselves safe. Ending the scourge of gender-based violence is the duty of government and society as a whole. But unfortunately, as a society, we are failing dismally at this. So you need to empower yourself with knowledge and tools. Now, in this talk, I'm going to outline the signs that may signal you're in an unhealthy relationship. In my next talk, I'll look at the steps you can take to move away from fear and go towards safety and freedom. When we think about gender-based violence, it is usually physical abuse that comes to mind. Many people view physical abuse as more serious than other types of abuse, such as emotional or financial abuse. But abuse of any description is unacceptable, and you have every right to seek help if you're experiencing any of what I'm about to describe. The organization Women Against Abuse lists 6 types of abuse and their characteristics. The first is physical abuse. It's easily recognized and may include hitting, slapping, punching, kicking, burning, strangling, damaging personal property, denying you access to medical care and or controlling medication, coercing you into substance abuse or using weapons against you. Then emotional abuse. This happens when an intimate partner seeks to control you by name-calling, insulting or blaming, exhibiting extreme jealousy, intimidating, shaming or humiliating you, cutting you off from friends and family, controlling what you do and where you go, stalking you. And sexual abuse is a type of physical abuse, but is defined as very specific behaviors, and it may exist without other physical abuse. Sexual abuse includes any sexual behavior performed without your consent. Now, examples include forcing you to have sex with other people, pursuing sexual activity when you are not fully conscious, hurting you physically during sex, coercing you to give sex without protection, or sabotaging your birth control method. Then technological abuse. This includes the use of technology to control and stalk you, such as hacking your email or personal accounts, using tracking devices in your cell phone to monitor your location, phone calls and messages, monitoring interactions via social media, demanding to know your passwords. In financial abuse, this constitutes any behavior that maintains power and control over finances. This is particularly common in South Africa because socio-cultural norms in some communities define a woman's role as subservient to men and primarily domestic. Because it is socially acceptable for women to be financially dependent, financial abuse is often not obvious. Now, examples include not allowing you to work, causing you to lose your job through direct or indirect means, such as preventing you from going to work or harassing you at your workplace, controlling financial assets and putting you on an allowance, or even withholding funds altogether. Not allowing you to have your own bank account, credit card, or other financial assets. Demanding to see bank statements, receipts for purchases, etc. Demanding your credit score, or damaging your credit score rather. Immigration abuse, this is less common, but in South Africa there is a legitimate concern as many immigrants have come from other southern African countries to search for economic opportunities. Abusive tactics that may be used against you if you are an immigrant include destroying immigration papers, threatening to hurt your family in your home country, threatening to have you deported. The psychological impact of all types of abuse includes anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress, and other anxiety disorders, sleep difficulties, eating disorders, and suicide attempts. Children exposed to violence in the home may suffer a range of behavioral and emotional disturbances and may experience long-term emotional and psychological trauma. If you experience any type of abuse at the hands of your partner, you don't have to suffer in silence. Even if you are financially dependent on your partner, there are steps you can take to move on. I know it is not easy, but support is available. I'll say more about overcoming the barriers to leaving an abusive relationship in my next talk, but if you need help right now, call or WhatsApp me on the number on the screen immediately. I can serve a protection order on a controlling partner and connect you to relevant support services. I'll make sure you and your children are safe.